So what made you want to be a part of this project?
Legacy, right? I mean, I feel like for the past 20 years, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and my husband will be forever remembered, but I want my kids to be forever remembered, and they still struggle, and it's still, it's not over. So, yeah, I want it to become our legacy now. He has his own legacy, and I'd like to start that with my children. You know what I bought too? I bought, so when they retrieved Charlie from they found his shield, and it's like someone. I bought that. I don't know if you want to take a look at it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never cleaned it. It still got glass in it, and so I don't know if I show it to.
So.
Yeah. So my husband was very honorable, you know, American, Marine Corps, fire department. He didn't care. He didn't keep a scoreboard. He was just do the right thing. And I want to say he always did that with the kids. Like, at the end of the day, you don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's just what you put out there.
He was an honorable man.
Oh, very. God, country, flag. A little too much, though, sometimes, with the flag. Not that it's a bad thing. It's like he always had to have the American flag, right, on the beach, in the car, and God forbid you didn't set it the right way, or like when we first bought our first house in Rockland County, I have a videotape of it, of him explaining and he's putting the flag on the house, and he's explaining to them the American dream, and you have to earn things in life, things aren't given to you, like, right? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. It's like all these weird things that I kind of believe his soul knew that he wasn't gonna stay with us for forever. And all these little puzzles that he embedded in their brains kind of carried us throughout life till now.
How's it been without Dad for 20 years? Have you, I know it's 20 years is a long time, right? But obviously he's your father. What's it been like, Brad? Like, how has it affected you, do you think, the last 20 years of not having a dad?
You okay? Do you want to talk about it?
Come back to it, don't have to talk about it.
No, I can talk about it. I'm just trying not to
You can, but it's okay to be like that.
get emotional.
It's good to get
It's
emotional.
funny because, well, it's not funny, but it feels like, you know, it's all like now it all hits me.
Do you find it's hard to talk about it, both of you, right? And Brad, or is it easier? Because some people find it quite cathartic to talk about it. Some families have, some also don't talk about it. You guys, how does it feel? Like, do you?
I think it's hard to talk about it now because of the point in my life.
I don't have a hard time talking about it. I've made a very strong support friendship with the other widows from my husband's firehouse, and actually we bounce things off of each other. It's nice not to be judged, and we're not like, it's not competitive, like when we have issue with our kids, relationships, just to vent and just to, you know, when somebody says, I know what you're going through, and you're like, no, you don't. With these other women, they do. So I don't have a hard time talking about it, because it's like the longest relationship I've had with them, more than my own husband.
Right.
So they know me even better. Oh, he took Brandon to his written exam. Brandon was 6 months when he took the test for the fire department, and he put on the snuggly. You know those? Do they still exist?
Yeah,
I don't know.
People in Soho carry dogs in them now.
Put Brandon on the train in the snuggly for good luck for his written exam.
Well,
Oh,
it
you were a
worked.
baby. Of course you don't remember that. I was just like,
But it worked.
it worked. Yeah. And he, yeah, it did.
And then every year, you know, we have a memorial, they read the names. How is that for you guys? Like, is it like tearing a bandage off a wound every 12 months, or is it a nice thing to hear that, you know, your dad is remembered?
It's both. It's a lot of emotions. Like it's nice that, you know, people do remember every year, but then at the same time, it's like you see people going down there and like smiling and taking pictures and like posting it on social media. Like even my own family members, I see it, and you know they're not doing it, you know,
Maliciously.
It's just they don't know exactly what they're doing, but for people like me, I don't know, it can be a day of many emotions.
I guess my last question is, it's been 20 years, how do you do it? Like, how do you get up and how do you both of you like just get going every day, you know? Like, what do you do to, if someone's watching this and say they're going through their own shit and their own trauma and their own grief about something, kind of what advice would you have for them?
So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, sure.
So, because they were 8, 6, and 18 months at the time, I was the greatest actress in the world. I would, yay, sports, school, whatever. I mean, I had my moments. But then I was like creating a farce where I'm like, why am I making believe? I want to be that person. I don't want to be labeled. I don't want that scarlet letter to be like, oh, the widow. Oh, you lost your husband. I don't want to be that person. I have my own identity. I don't, you know. And it took a long time and a lot of support groups. Tuesday's Children in the beginning was very helpful. The fire department, the family assistance unit, very helpful. And my girlfriends, you know, the other widows, they're like my sisters to me now, supportive, like, and spirituality. Like, yes, I'm Catholic.
I'm sorry.
It's you know, and you have to go back to God at the end of however you believe in your God. And I took a different vessel. I did it spiritually. I did it with Kabbalah. I did it in training and just visualizing and changing my thoughts and as negative and all the things. And everyone has a story, right? And it's how you perceive yourself and how you approach. Like I walked around with that tough, mean Brooklyn, don't fuck with me. I don't want to be that anymore. I had to learn how to smile again, how to fake it till you make it. So, and it takes time and a lot of lessons. And I think what I have is the older I get, the less I care. That's the secret. You can't give a fuck. I put my head on a pillow at night and I know my kids are good. I mean, the best as they can be. But I'm happy. You know, and it just takes time. And you just gotta let it go and just, just positive and saging a lot. Getting rid of all the negativity. People don't want better for you. There's very few. I cleaned out my friends. I cleaned out family. You know, even my kids, they're all out of my house. Very happy.
Very
It's my turn.
It's your turn.
I will say that it never gets easy. You just learn to live with it. And I'm still learning to live with it. And it'll always be like that. Throughout my whole life, I will always be learning to live with it. Like, it will never become easy. And I'm still doing that. And honestly, I feel like my whole life, my mom's been like, you should just go live your life, be a normal kid, because that's what I should be. And now that I'm like at this point where I have to become an adult, it's all hitting me now like a ton of bricks. So it's a lot harder for me.